And to quote Partisan on playing Soul Calibur 4 on PC, he's like, "This is not the true experience of the game. The online is way too good."
Yeah. And that being said, Soul Calibur 4 Online was a trial by fire so extreme that it's actually birthed a huge chunk of like some of the best players in North America today. Woes, MT Fighter, Zephukai, something unique, though he's not in Soul Calibur 6.
And that one Amy player.
Who?
I don't know. I think he like won a tournament or something.
Oh, in all seriousness, if you mean me, I don't count because I didn't play Soul Calibur 4 Online.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was like, playing online in Soul Calibur 4 sucks, so I'm just gonna be playing offline. That was back when Philly had a community.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Now it's just like you and two other people. You and also just you and two other people.
Who were the other two people?
You commentating this match.
Hey!
Yeah, I tried, alright. Oh, wow. Just run up, show you can Uma show you.
Yeah, Cassandra versus Zas. Definitely an absolutely miserable matchup in Soul Calibur 4, and now Zas can actually compete.
Yeah, definitely.
He does.
Yes, he does. No sidestepping allowed for you, Partisan, at negative frames.
So this is very kind of paradoxical to what I was talking about in the previous set, where Kix was a little bit too hesitant to be pressing buttons in certain situations, and Feremuntrus is very much, you know, not that.
Yes.
And he's taking any and all opportunities, even against a character that's all about frame advantage like Cassandra, to press whatever he wants, because his damage is so high. See, it's something like that. Like that 2-2B kind of came out of nowhere, and I think the Partisan was a little bit bamboozled.
And just coming out of nowhere, we got that 4-6B popping the curse into huge damage.
Alright. Decided to spend the bar, I'm not surprised, but that being said, you have to deal with 2 Zas bars, so he can be in Soul Charge while still have... Alright, well, never mind, I guess.
Yeah,
Good
nice,
stuff from Partisan.
A nice train of thought you got there, Shay. Shame if that happened.
Shades of, like, literally every time I go on, like, a long spree of stuff that could happen, and then none of it happens.
Yeah, I love when that happens. It's so great. It makes me feel so warm inside. It also makes me feel warm inside.
What's that?
All this Cassandra pressure, because it is incredibly frustrating to deal with.
And there's one thing we know about Zubaz is that whenever he gets warm, that means he's frustrated.
That's what they say.
Typical Canadian, you know, behavior. Ooh, breaks the command grab and then does more tech crouches. Oh, he tried to go for the Omega read, but he gets a gigantic read anyway.
Yeah, those low throws recover so quickly they're incredibly difficult to whip punish. You have to almost be preemptively doing it.
Yeah. I remember, as I thought Feremuntrus was going to win this game 2 rounds ago, I was going to say, now the thing that's going to be very difficult for Feremuntrus to deal with is the fact that Partisan is really good at downloading opponents. And I was going to say, well, let's see if Partisan's able to do that within games to come, because it's the first of 5. It looks like he didn't even need a full game in order for that to be the case.
No, and popping the soul charge with Feremuntrus.
Wow, is that game?
I think that not quite. Wow. One mix up away, and yeah, there we go. We're gonna get the mid.
So I gotta say, I really feel like if you were to accumulate all the health that Partisan lost in the last 2 rounds, like after he got that big, like that crazy comeback, it probably would have added up to like less than a third of a health bar.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I think what you said earlier about Partisan and being able to adapt, being a player that's played for so long, adaptation is something that he can do extremely well. It's like a human computer. And you know, he may just not even be a human computer. He may just be a full computer, because I don't think anyone's ever met Partisan.
No, I've met Partisan.
In a while, right? He could have got a full computer transplant, kind of.
Oh, like, you think as a precaution for COVID?
Yeah. He just inserted himself, downloaded his brain into a computer.
Yeah, I remember I was talking to Partisan like a week ago. It's kind of weird that I didn't think about this, but I said, "Hey, Partisan, how are you feeling today?" And I believe what he said was beep boop, beep boop, blarp,
sounds.
Beep, blop, boop. And that's kind of really impressive, very similar to this combo, but it's very impressive that he was able to, if he is a computer, that he was able to use like L sounds, because traditional computer sounds are beep and boop, but Partisan was using things like bleep and bloop, which, you know, computers they don't really have the ability to use L sounds.
That's true. It's one of the hardest matchups when it comes to computers. We know also
Well,
a
yeah,
hard
because
matchup.
L stands for love, and love is something that computers will never understand.
Man, that got really deep, and I didn't expect it to go there.
Well,
But Partisan is just putting in so much work right now, but great counter hit on the side step from Feremuntrus. And trying to bring it back in this round here. He's denying all this pressure from Partisan, but a huge GI.
it is also important to note that Partisan played around with Zas for a significant amount of time before Cass came out.
We were talking about computers. I was literally about to say that, but you beat me to it. And you know what? That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, this is very similar to... I don't know why this came into my head, but this reminds me very heavily about how Omega DR played Zas in Soul Calibur 4. In the sense of, the only, like, Zas couldn't really compete in terms of damage or frames or speed or range or anything. And he was still able to make top 8 at EVO simply because he was able to bring out GIs against everyone's strings, where it just limited the moveset as much as humanly possible. And I feel like that's what Partisan is doing to Feremuntrus right now. Every single string that he can GI, he's getting it in spades.
Yeah,
he's even exploding his opponent.
Damn. You hate to see it. Is that like the optimum blow up?
Explosions? Yeah. I mean, both of these characters can explode on their opponents. Both in damage and momentum and in actual explosions.
You know, that's a meta of the game that I never really thought about, Jay, but I'm glad you brought it up. And so far, Partisan is exploding into the first 2 games of this set, taking it 2-0.
Yeah, if I'm 100% honest, Partisan, for the longest time, is probably one of, if not my absolute favorite players to watch play Soul Calibur. Yeah. It's very much like a chess match. Just like the movement is very surgical, it's very calculated, and it's just, I don't know, it's just something that I've always really enjoyed watching across 3 different games.
Yeah, akin to a computer. One might say.
If there's one thing I love about calculated movement, it's a computer.
Yeah. Especially ones with the only purpose to do calculations.
I mean, you could argue that that's every computer.
That's true.
Yeah, he's getting all these GIs. Feremuntrus cannot rely on these strings. Wow, the tech jump off of the 3rd A, that sucks.
Yeah, you hate to see that. I'm going for the low throw attempt, but yeah, you can't really be whiff punishing those. It is extremely difficult. I like the staggered offense that Partisan is employing right now, though, and doing strings, catching them out.
Yeah, so do you kind of see how, like, because Feremuntrus can't do the similar strings that he's normally allowed to do, what he's resorting to is these small individual pokes that Zas has. And even though they're relatively good, the fact of the matter is the amount of damage he's getting off of that kind of thing versus when Partisan gets one of those hits, it's not comparable.
No, it's definitely not. And he's going into this pressure right now. Partisan trying to take his turn back. And Feremuntrus is letting Partisan kind of just freely move, which is interesting because Zas has amazing horizontals to like keep his opponent in check.
I mean, this is the pinnacle. I'm gonna use this as like a clinic example of like what conditioning is like. If you take a look at what Feremuntrus is doing now versus what he was doing in the first game, they're literally 2 different players.
Yep. Oh,
I thought for a millisecond that Cass was going to be so BS that she was going to be able to block that in time.
Yeah, I would have been upset about that. Hey, Feremuntrus trying to bring it back, though. Soul Charge coming in from Partisan's character is very scary to deal with, but the curse on the air hit.
Yeah, I appreciate... Feremuntrus is definitely one of those players that is incredibly knowledgeable and very strong... Nice whip punish. Very knowledgeable as to how BS Zas 46B is and the amount of capabilities and applications that you can use when you just have one curse. Something like that.
Yeah, exactly. Keeping it nice and safe, like a FADC. Sure you can, right?
Heyo.
Okay.
Not necessarily safe when in the last iteration of the game, but yeah, I see what you mean.
Alright, we're talking earlier on. Speaking of, things that are moved from the last iteration.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
Divine Force coming through from Partisan. Big damage, taking a big life lead in this game.
I noticed that one thing that for some reason that Partisan has gone to in the past round and a half is that any time that Zas has the ability to do like Oki kind of pressure, he's done like a jump move. Ooh, nice tech rush.
Yeah, I think he's trying to just make it a little bit more difficult for him to connect those combos. But speaking of connecting combos, getting the tech trap.
I think it's the first time I've ever seen Zasa solo attack. I've heard it's terrible, and it doesn't look good.
Yeah, you didn't really get anything out of it, you know? But, oh my goodness, disrespecting again, gonna close it out with a perfect.
Well, you should definitely be disrespecting in that situation. He had a full health bar.
Yes, he did.
Alright, so 1 bar to 2. Ooh, into a sliding kick. I really feel like he could have gotten more. But so many explosions all over Zasa's face. You know what I'm saying.
I wish he didn't say it, but
well,
the soul charge coming up for Feremuntrus.
What an awful waste of hope.
Wow, didn't pull the trigger on the A+B there. It would have been so much damage. Probably wouldn't have killed, but
he stole the bar, and so Cass doesn't have the bar, and then he ends up getting hit by the 2-2A, and he gets the game somehow.
That was some spaghetti.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, definitely.
I think he was a little bit freaked. I think Partisan was a little bit freaked out as to the fact that he didn't have his second bar by the time that he wanted to use it, and yeah, he just I guess it was like a botched RI. I didn't see how he lost however much bar he lost.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he lost it either, but it can be one of those things where your game plan relied around your meter usage, and then all of a sudden you don't have it, and then now you're in a situation where it's like, well, the plan I had is just no longer possible. So,
arguably one of the weaknesses of a player or computer, as the case may be, for somebody who calculates from such a degree, like so many moves ahead. If one of those moves kind of peters out before you even get the opportunity to use it, then your entire plan goes.
Yes, it does. But great wall pressure here from Partisan. And, wow.
Yeah, fuck you, Zasa ring outs. It's time for shield ring outs.
Yeah, that was shout out to the walls in this stage.
Oh yeah. These walls are stupid.
Yes, they are. Wow, I like the single A into the throw attempt there, kind of just delaying his offense. And Partisan has done a really, really great job at doing so.
Yeah, he's got kind of like AI level defense at the moment.
Yeah, it's almost like he's reading the inputs of Feremuntrus.
Which would be really unfair if he was able to do that. And we should definitely report him. My dad works at Namco.
Does he?
Yeah. My dad is Mr. Namco.
The Mr. Namco. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
Feremuntrus just super confident going for that 3v to secure that round.
You know what his wife's name is?
Is it Mrs. Namco?
No, Mrs. Nintendo.
Huh.
They're Japan's leading power couple.
Wow, and they had you or the child. Interesting.
I was adopted.
That makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Okay, Partisan going with the pressure on wake up. Obviously just to back up. Gets the whiff, but no whiff punish coming through.
Yeah, it seems like, I don't know, there's some sort of innate timing that Partisan has at the moment, where he's able to use Cass really good. I mean, this is what Cass is really good at. He's going to be able to block that CE. Let's see. See, again, he tried to do a little bit of a jump. It seems like once Zas has a low amount of life, Partisan is much more willing to take as many bets as he can. And the way he does it is through air hits, which I guess makes sense because it's going to keep Zas from actually getting any of those big-time combos if you were wrong.
Yeah. So it's relatively low risk, and he had the life to kind of work with it. Okay, nice. Whiffing, though. Feremuntrus is feeling, looks like he's very oppressed, and Partisan, great delay, gonna beat out the GI there.
Yeah, I feel like Feremuntrus is handling it, a little well. It's just the fact of the matter is that I really feel like Partisan has dictated the pace of this game, and he's dictated it in a way where Cass is better at this kind of game than Zas is. Zas is fine at this game. See how the air hit made it so that the combo didn't really work and it allowed Partisan. But you saw what I mean. Partisan was able to get up and try to instill some sort of weird whiffing pseudo shenanigans. And I mean, yeah, he ended up getting hit by the CE, but Zas can only do that so many times.
Yeah. So you really say that? Yeah. So Feremuntrus after this, wow, 4-6B. He went for the he went for the hold, he held down the curse, right? Which gave Partisan the opportunity to get the whiff punish.
Yeah, Partisan just he's abusing the ridiculous moves that Cassandra has. I'm really happy that we're finally getting to see this character to a significant degree.
Yeah, a lot of Cassandra players came into the woodwork in Season 2.
I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, Cassandra has turned into a top 5 character in this iteration.
Yeah, they gave her some really crazy buffs in Season 2, and her damage is just crazy high for how fast she is.
Yeah, imagine giving a character that has gigantic amounts of damage and perfect frame traps and really solid movement, and giving them an I-10.
Right?
Wow, nice 2-2-B!
Wow, I like that combo.
Is that dead? Jesus Christ!
Was that a... Could he have teched that?
I feel like he could have, but also, this character is stupid. So, you know.
Maybe he could have air controlled out of it, maybe? That was,
Welcome to the stage of history.
It's difficult to use aerial control when you're a curse.
That's true. That was something else. Hey, he used like the realign property of 4-6-B to even hit him out of the air while he was trying to air control away, right?
Yeah,
So...
what a horrible night for a curse. Do you get that reference?
I'm too young.
Yeah. You just assume that you're too young to get one of my references.
Yep. Well,
It's a fair assumption.
You are the second oldest man alive.
See, this is what I hate about your generation. Like, when I was young, like, there were still things that happened before I was born, but it's not like I didn't, I wasn't aware of them. I still took stock of what the culture was like. So, what's your excuse?
Ignorance. Okay. Partisan, not out of this yet. And this could be a ring out. Oh, God. Air controlling
away. You can always area control that.
Yes, you can. And the movement, though, from Partisan, keeping him alive right now. Forces the curse with the I-10 AA.
Wow, I can't believe that. How... I mean, the thing that we always say when you're dealing with Zas, where his back is to the ring edge. Wow, really great clash there. But, like, he was able to compete with Zas at the ring edge for the majority of that set. And that was kind of crazy.
Yeah, it was, but now Feremuntrus kind of contesting, kind of working into 2As a little bit more in this matchup, and what a huge disrespect with that 4-6-B.
Well, it's pretty difficult, right? Because, it tech crouches pretty quickly as far as I know, and, with the curses, and the fact that it hits people, it's a horizontal, it's pretty much completely safe and easy to use.
Yes, it is, yeah, that curse making it totally safe.
I also kind of noticed that Partisan isn't using those GIs as much as we were seeing in the beginning of the set.
Yeah, Feremuntrus has not been doing as many strings, though, either, right? So...
Well...
Oh, he went for the GI or something there, and then, that happens.
Wow.
Jay, what...
That grab.
What's happening right now? What's happening?
Yeah, it feels like both players are trying to make a statement right now. Whomever wins this round, I think, is going to be making a huge statement. Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I feel like both of them are like, Partisan was dictating the pace, now Feremuntrus has come back and he's dictating the pace, and so now it's a matter of, like, which player can press more buttons and get more damage the quickest, which arguably is what Soul Calibur is all about in the first place, but it seems like, both players have taken defense in movement and switched it to defense in moves.
Yes, they have. Okay, Feremuntrus going for the big Umeshoryu again, not going to work out for him.
Yeah, it's like every time Partisan catches him with something small, Feremuntrus immediately fires back either with a 4-6-B or with something small of his own, and it's up to Partisan to try and figure this out.
Yeah, that 4-6-B is doing so much work for Feremuntrus. He's disrespecting a lot of the frames that Partisan has. He's like ducking under like AAs and everything with it. And he has that curse, so he gets a huge damage combo. Or even if Partisan does block it, he gets the curse, he makes it safe, right? So
yeah, well, he is also more often than not, as far as I can tell, he's catching Partisan's box step, which is probably massively frustrating somebody like Partisan.
Yeah, what do you think of this Prince custom?
Prince was never really somebody that I got into all that much. It does definitely look kind of weird that he made Zasalamel less black. That's weird to me.
Can we say that? Is that a thing we can say?
I mean, it's a color. It's shades of, gray.
All right.
50 of them to be specific.
Oh no. Partisan going for the A+B there, trying to get fade out of GI from Feremuntrus, but Feremuntrus not really giving many GI. Well, as I say that, he does it. So what do I know about the video game?
Yeah, it really seems like what. Wow, he actually rung out with that. I thought that was impossible.
I think he air controlled the wrong direction there.
Huh. Something tells me he didn't want that move.
Probably not. Okay, going with the curse because we're about to see a 4-6 B. Oh, you know what? We do see a sweet chin music.
So now we're kind of back to where we were in the first game, I feel like, where Partisan is having a tough time understanding how to dictate the pace. So what he's transferred over to is, I'm going to do two things. If I'm in mid-range and I catch him with something, I'm going to backstep as much as I can. It's so stupid that he gets that amount of damage. And if I'm really close to Zas, what I'm going to do is mash my fastest stuff. Which is kind of working and kind of not, because the fastest stuff kind of thing, Zas does has answers to that do a lot of damage. So he's having a tough time keeping up in the damage race, it seems.
Yeah, Feremuntrus is just very content with disrespecting Partisan's like frames and his turn with that 4-6B. It doesn't even get the block punish there, but when he has that curse ready to go, he gets so much out of that 4-6B. We're seeing it over and over again.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame. Is that going to be a ring up? Yeah. It's kind of a shame that we're seeing some of the stuff that Partisan was 100% on point for the last two games, or for the two games that he won. He's just not pulling off that same kind of stuff. The GIs aren't really happening as much anymore, and because the GIs aren't happening all that much anymore, Feremuntrus is getting to dictate more of the pace and get his momentum going a lot more, which means his horizontals are going to be much more effective.
Yes.
It's kind of a domino effect.
Yeah, I agree with your observation entirely, but going in with the collie drop, calling down the thunder, trying to make something happen here. Yeah,
okay.
And one hit away here, but Feremuntrus has his back to the wall. This could be very scary, but steps back into the explosion.
Yeah, it looks like he thought he had sidestepped it. Man, he keeps going for those uppercuts. They never seem to hit, but I guess Feremuntrus doesn't really care.
Yeah, definitely seeming like it. Trying to challenge with the 2A, take a turn back.
Wow!
Oh, with the horizontal and huge disrespect again from Feremuntrus.
Oh, I think I'm a little bit ahead of you.
Perhaps.
Yeah, I think that just based on the reactions I'm getting. And then the game just ended.
Yes, it did. So the A+B from Partisan.
Yeah, it's a hell of a solid read there. At the end to pull out that A+B, finally making sure that Feremuntrus's patience had cracked, and he went for the CE, which he could have had an opportunity to use in many other situations in that last round, and just never thought that it was the right time.
Yeah, he was doing Soul Charge a lot, which to be fair, he was getting a lot out of.
Yeah.
But
and he had 2 bars, so it makes sense that you could try to use Soul Charge into a CE or something like that.
Yeah. To try and get, force some different frame situations against your opponent to throw off their timing so you can get that CE. But, unfortunately for Feremuntrus, Partisan going to be calling him out huge with that A+B and securing the round. Going on the same stage.
Yeah, did he decide to go for the same stage?
I honestly, I wasn't really paying attention, but knowing the random select of this game, possibly not.
But he did go back to the blacker Zasalamel, so let's see if this works out for him. It seems like it's being pretty successful already.
Yeah, the classic Zas back turn ring out potential, right? This character infamous for.
But that being said, Partisan hadn't really been falling for it all that much until now.
Yeah, maybe just kind of one of those things where he very much really wasn't getting anything out of it, kind of didn't go for it as much, but right as he gets his opponent off guard, gets that ring out.
Getting the punishes as appropriate. Like, really trying to use that shield bash move that comes out from While Rising. I don't think... Is that While Rising B? That's like minus 8 or something on block?
Yeah, I believe so. And we were saying earlier the GIs were Partisan, but unfortunately the whiff couldn't give another ring out.
Yeah, Partisan needs to understand, like, yeah, you do have the pace and everything like that, but Zas is pretty good. And so you are going to have... Like, you've been pretty successful so far in this set, staying away from that kind of stuff, but it's only going to be a matter of time before the options that Zas has to ring you out are just going to overwhelm you.
Yeah, definitely. Wow, huge AGI from Partisan. Gonna get a Divine Force. It could be a big damage if he blocks something -15 or gets that whiff punish.
Man, that was like an optimal whiff punish. Is that going to be a ring out? I think it is, yeah.
Wow.
That was pretty solid punish from Feremuntrus. I wasn't expecting that.
No, neither was
Isn't that
I.
kick lethal hit when it's like you whiff something that's like minus 18 or something?
Yeah,
What's
it's a
the lethal
whiff
hit
punish.
condition of
It's a whiff punish lethal hit, but I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, I think it's like it has to be a whiff punish that where the move was going to be recovering for a long time in some way.
Yeah.
So that puts it at 4-3, right?
Yes. So if Feremuntrus wins his next one, he will go away with the set 5-3.
He's not going to be able to get any ring outs though. But that being said, Zas wall combos are nothing to scoff at either.
Yeah, they're not like to the level of like Yoshimitsu or Siegfried, but they're definitely solid, and you get a decent amount of damage, and he can build crazy amounts of curses off of them.
Yeah, see, something that I'm noticing a lot is that Feremuntrus is able to do two things. One, he's getting these slight sidesteps during Partisan's pressure that are really screwing him up, and he's getting a lot of damage out of that. And Feremuntrus is, yeah, something like that. Plus, Feremuntrus is able to jam in these 4-6Bs after he whiffs, which is also giving Partisan a tough time to dash in and start his pressure. So he needs to do, you know, a little bit more patience from far away, and he needs to do significantly more horizontals when he's in close against Zas, in my opinion.
Yeah, definitely. He's kind of just letting Feremuntrus walk all over him, and with even a single curse, Feremuntrus is just getting so much damage off of these exchanges.
I'm also noticing that Feremuntrus is significantly more successful at catching Cass's sidestep nowadays with some of these 3ABs, because that GI that used to be there in the beginning of the set isn't there anymore.
Yeah, we saw it a little bit in that last game, but unfortunately those ring outs kind of just negated all of that from Partisan.
Ooh, nice catch with the tech jump on the kick. Again, Partisan definitely likes going into the air as some way to mitigate some of the stuff that's really strong from Zasalamel. And sometimes it seems to work out, and sometimes it really doesn't at all.
Yeah, I like the popping the curse, keeping him safe. From Partisan, you know, he's kind of disrespecting that Zas turn a little bit more. And it seems to be working out for him, popping the Divine Force. Oh, and guessing on the wrong Greek in that situation. Feremuntrus quacking into the mid, not Sophidia.
Yeah, it seems like Partisan... Wow. Partisan has slowed this down to a crazy degree. Wow, another great jump. Jumping over a mid at that point. I guess it just didn't come out in time. But yeah, he's getting a lot of success of like slowing this down to a degree and like putting it into where I'm only going to use like 4 or 5 moves, and I'm going to force you to do the same.
And now this is the Partisan we saw earlier on in the set where he's kind of just confident walking around Feremuntrus.
Yeah, allowing Zas to whip, but he's not really getting all that much damage out of it. Soul attack versus soul attack, but Zas's soul charge activation snuffed out Cass's soul attack, which forced Partisan to use the second bar, and he baits out the 2-2B.
Yeah, I got kicked from the room, so this is all.
Oh, okay. So we've got Cass up 2-1, Zas in the red with low yellow life. It's going to be a matter of the guard break at this point.
I'm still here. Oh, he gets
the counter hit.
Dude, that counter hit was wild. Can we are we still in Black History Month with the way that Feremuntrus is playing?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
No, we're not going to give you that shit anymore.
What? I respect that answer.
I talked with all of my compatriots. We decided that I think you guys have had your fun.
Understandable. You know who's having fun? The chat and me watching this set, but we're gonna see this combo where Zas is gonna be having fun with his damage. Holy cow! Nice duck by Partisan though.
Oh, he doesn't get the punish, but this is a pretty big deal.
Oh,
Partisan going for his jumps again, and I think that's gonna give him the round.
Yeah, that was a godlike punish.
Set it up as 4-4.
That's crazy. It's gotta be like super frustrating to play versus Zas.
Yeah, it definitely... I am getting the impression that a lot of what just happened in the last round and the second to last round from Partisan was built solely on the frustration of dealing with Zas's panic buttons.
I agree.
He's getting he definitely feels like he has to be sidestepping so much more than he would want to, which is causing his confirms to whiff punish be much worse. And he's... So, for instance, in the second to last round, he sidestepped a gigantic amount to try and get away from the 2-2B.
Mm-hmm.
And then the very, very next wake-up situation, he did the exact same thing, but Feremuntrus just, like, stayed with him the whole time, and then just did like a wake up, sidestep 8 times, grab kind of situation. It was weird.
Yeah, exactly. The Yomi in his head is great, but for not for much. Zubaz, are you good to go, or are you still?
Yeah, I'm here. I just didn't want to interrupt the train that you guys had going on, right? You guys are flowing back and forth. But yeah, going into this match, feeling each other out right now. But I like the side steps coming in from Partisan, dancing all around these horizontals.
Enough about a train that Boom and I had. Now we're dealing with Santa Claus, so it's more like play.
I don't have anything to kind of go off of on that one, Jay. That was just okay. Crazy hitbox interactions. We know it's crazy. This damage from Feremuntrus just obliterating Partisan's health bar.
I like how Partisan sidestepped the vertical correctly and then didn't attack, and then he still had to block the second hit.
Yes, you hate to see it happen.
Some people do.
Zas, if you're a Zas player, you love to see it, and you're like, yeah, if character's fair.
Yeah, I earned that.
Yeah, looking at Arpia.
Heyo.
No ducking on the string, no GIs. Gonna go with the back turn mix up here. Okay, Partisan avoiding the mix up.
A lot of walk and block being exercised by Partisan. Shades of Street Fighter 4. Decides to go Soul Charge for Soul Charge, which, as far as I can tell, ooh, a hell of a strong hit.
Wow.
That actually wasn't. I was about to say. Why did that whiff? That was weird.
That was weird, but you know what? I feel like if you're Partisan, you take those because your health bar would have got totally obliterated.
Yeah, it looks like he was comfortable just allowing bar for bar to be traded down from Zas, but the problem is that when you have no meter, Zas is significantly more powerful with those new lethal hits.
Yeah, that 660 lethal hit is super huge. Let's see if is he trying to go for it? I think he's trying to go for it.
He might be, but especially now at this point, he really shouldn't be. Perhaps Partisan smells blood in the water, and that's why he's pressing buttons so often.
Yeah, and one thing was... God.
And I think that's about to even it up. No, it's not! He was actually able to get away. Something I've never been able to do.
You know, rolling all the way around and pop them up in the air. And great stuff from Partisan.
It is very difficult to bestow curses upon people when there are mines all over the ground.
That's an interesting. It's like trying to play Minesweeper at the same time.
Yeah, he has to mine those mines.
Dang. Alright, nice. Going in with the throw. Race up Partisan. Goes for the Oki. Gonna get blocked. Popping the Soul Charge. Feremuntrus trying to just push him away.
Zubaz, do you know what you get in mines?
What is this?
Coal. Santa Claus.
Yeah, I get it, Jay.
He's coming to town.
Oh no. Christmas come early. Anyone else is coming early.
Whoa, I've never seen that move before. I don't know what it is.
I've never seen it either.
Oh, this is going to decide it potentially, and it does, and that's the